was the last part that you heard?
We did the identify on the swords.
You were gonna say
we're
something about catalysts.
catalysts.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was rudely interrupted by my internet. Good to know. Let me just grab the
Also, I should be right back. Sorry.
character thingy.
No, he's gone.
Images? Where is museum? Museum.
Chris, pretender of Jane.
I don't think he heard you. And get this just to be there. There we go.
Bow up.
So, now I wait for FJ to be back. Also, I saw that someone sent the Black Keys information in chat. Did someone ask about it?
Oh, no, we were just bringing up how, in the anime, they have infinite black keys.
Yes.
We were talking about tentacles wielding black keys.
Yes. They would
Black keys
probably
are
die.
mechanically the black keys aren't infinite, but if you had an infinite amount of black keys, then you could make it work.
Yes.
What do you mean they probably die? No, they wouldn't.
They would probably just burn up.
I believe in them. They're fine. They're okay.
I mean, are the black keys capable of casting at least one spell?
Are the tentacles able to cast the spell? Yes.
Yeah, because that's a requirement for black keys.
I mean, they're able to cast Ivard's black tentacles, so.
So you're saying that they are Ivard?
Spoilers.
They're actually Evan, not Ivard. Evan's tentacles of forced intrusion.
Forced
That sounds so bad.
Yes.
That's because it is.
That sounds very anime.
But yes, it's Jackson isn't actually a spellcaster. It's just the tentacles doing it for him. He's just faking it this whole time. He's just a regular dude. He's got no levels.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. So, before I was rudely interrupted by my internet.
Uh-huh.
You had rolled a 25.
Yes.
So, while these weaponry are mostly just normal junk, you gather information from what you know about the contractor, how shady he was about the job of getting the swords to him, or the sword to him. Sorry. You can assume and presume with your magical knowledge, with your studies, that this could be used as a catalyst. Catalysts have different uses. They can be mostly used for summoning, however. And one thing this old, considering it's a catalyst from ancient Greece, would probably used to summon things from said ancient Greece. I would say that with a 25, you can glean that it's not common, it's not really resource efficient, nor is it something that can be done easily. But there is a thing that you would know called he heroic spirit. These are beings close to, I don't know if you know what type moon elementals are.
I'm vaguely familiar.
Elementals are basically what the earth uses to mystical creatures that the earth uses. So, for example, fantastic species. Also, the what's the name of the thing? The dead, the more powerful dead, the dead apostles.
True ancestors.
And true ancestors. The ones at the top are considered elementals as well. They are forces of nature.
Okay.
The heroic spirits are close to elementals in the sense that they are summoned things on behalf of a greater power, to bid their services to a greater power. And heroic spirits specifically are creatures that represent people, ideals, concepts. It's not something that can be, as I said, done easily. It's not resource efficient. It's mostly just used to flex than to actually do anything. To say that you alone summon the heroic spirit is a big feat. However,
you have to be like red level.
Keeping them working is consumes way too much energy to be viable. But, however, with all the information, the little bits of information that you have until up to this point, you can safely assume that this could be used to summon a heroic spirit.
Possibly.
Possibly an ancient Greek heroic spirit, yes.
Okay.
He's just a really passionate character.
Just one of them?
Didn't we say
Just
that?
the one.
What do we know? Like, which one of these is the one that would work?
Yes,
don't.
that's important.
They're both the exact same as far as.
Be identical to the point of
Actually,
either would work.
You know what? If I gained proficiency in some sort of tool that was like a weapon focus, would I be able to tell if there is a specific difference?
Smithing tools?
Yeah, like if I give myself proficiency in smithing tools, would I be able to look at these as like, oh, these are like, I specifically made to be twins, or if they're just the same sword, or
I like Xanathos guy.
Sure. You could, if you want to spend your use of your channel divinity to gain smithing tool proficiency, you can roll a check.
Do you have smithing tools to use that?
I assume it would be like a knowledge check.
Well, yeah, you have to have the tools to use the tool check.
I mean,
do we?
I don't.
Yeah.
The thing is, you need to use the tools if you're making something with the tools. This is just. I know how to use these tools, so I would not have knowledge of the end product.
Well, in general, like tools aren't always just like the making of it, but also like some toolkits have like magnifying glasses, like things that help you identify stuff.
Yeah,
like
indeed.
any tool check would need a tool.
In this specific case, I would say it's okay, because you're mostly just gathering the knowledge of sword making and looking at the sword. You're not specifically trying to reproduce or identify a certain specific component. The thing that Gianna wants to do with this is simply to know, are these two exactly the same and made the same, or is one just like a copy of the other?
I want to find what Xanathos guy does. Here's what they say.
Yes.
Salt the bones.
Yeah, it would basically be a history check with your new proficiency.
Okay, so that would just be, it wouldn't be by expertise, it'd just be proficient. Okay.
Yes, since you don't have the equipment, you're just using the newfound knowledge given to you by God. It's just proficiency.
Maybe more my sister, but all right.
Knowledge given to you by God. Yes.
Given to you by God. It's a channel divinity. I mean, you're literally
Then-
channeling divinity.
The name of the feast.
So yes, roll me a history check.
So you're
Okay.
stealing knowledge from God. Got it.
Yes, just like it's more like borrowing than stealing. Because
If you want to say, if you really want to say, you could say it's from Metatron. We can dive into the angelic mythos.
I thought you were saying we're gonna dive in medieval history, but yes.
also
Nah, Metatron's like God's
The actual Metatron. Yeah.
I was thinking of Megatron. I'm like, why were we bringing Transformers?
Megatron. I was
I'm gonna be
thinking
real,
the
I thought the same
YouTuber Metatron.
No, there's an angel called Metatron.
Yeah.
well, that's news to me. I was also thinking about Transformers.
Megatron! Consult Megatron!
Not Megatron, Metatron.
Metatron, yes.
I see.
Yeah, I know. Like, I also know about the angel. I was just thinking, Megatron?
Megatron?
No. See, See, look.
Roll.
Okay, so do you want me to just use like proficiency int or at my actual history because that is expertise? I'm just wondering.
Oh, I mean, just roll your history check.
I was asking.
I will
would
give it
have
an
extra
question
bonuses if you had the equipment with you.
Okay.
So, history, that is a 22 total. Since now you have spent more time with the weapons, so you spent 20 minutes just identifying both, you then call upon this knowledge of smithing and sword making, and you notice that indeed one is much less used, more polished, and seems to have been made much more recently than the other. But also to the point of, even though it was made recently, it was made trying to emulate the damage and the use that the other had. Not perfectly, but to the normal naked eye, it would fool everyone. But since you spend time with it, basically already half an hour of time just looking into it precisely, and with help of Gabriella,
Right.
they are different. One was
So-
made as a copy of the other.
Is this like a magic item thing where the one we're looking for is actually the less scuffed one, or is the more scuffed one the one we actually want?
Why don't we just
Technically
take
be the-
both?
But yeah,
We're
she'll
taking both, but we don't have to give the contractor both.
We can
She'll
figure
hold
that
up
out
the two.
later.
she'll hold up the two swords and her eyes will begin to glow as she likes looking at them with renewed accuracy. She'll hold up the one in her left hand. This one's a copy.
But can it be
Very-
used?
Very well made copy, but a copy nonetheless. This one has slightly bit more scuff marks and chip damage around the edges.
But can it be used?
Used as a catalyst? From what I know about catalysts, would it be like a very, very good copy would be able to use the same effect, or would it be botched?
The thing is, if you want to summon a specific heroic spirit through a specific catalyst, the original will always wield better fruits. There is in history times where people summoned the same heroic spirit, but they were they had different some were
Characteristics.
stronger than the others for some reason that people normally associated with the catalyst being closer to the original source. So
Like,
in
it helps you
theory-
get a better aspect of them.
Yeah, in theory, they could both be used, to achieve the same purpose if they are indeed two swords of the same. One is indeed the sword of the one person, and the copy is related to that same person. But it could also, if the weapon is generic, summon a different heroic spirit from the intended design.
Okay. So, but in the case that this is a very, very good copies, would this fall under the category of it was made in the modern era, so therefore it doesn't work?
The thing is, instead of being an 100% chance, if the copy is good enough, it would be like a 60 to 70% chance.
Like,
Okay.
like when scrying, like if you have a part of a person, it's easier. If you don't, you're just kind of just guessing around.
That makes sense. Okay.
So
Random question:
helps.
Would my sword make a good catalyst?
Oh no.
That was ominous.
He's gonna summon himself.
She'll look at the two swords, be like, technically yes, this one would be 100% or as close to 100% as one could get when choosing to summon a heroic spirit, and this one would be there's a greater chance for failure or some other factor that is outside of the realm.
Gifted noodles.
That doesn't add up, does it?
Depends on how you're adding.
I mean,
While you think, would Jana have stated everything that she learned to everyone around?
In her own way, yes.
Okay. Oliver, roll me a
Yes.
history check.
Oh shit! All right,
Hero's gonna stroke his chin.
here we
So-
go.
The contractor wants to summon some super ghost.
That is, it's certainly a possibility. He may also just be an avid collector, but I assume, based on factors, context clues, etc., 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 yes, that is his most likely intended purpose. But why he's doing it is unknown. It is.
he
No,
does
no,
have a fair bit of family glory to bring back.
You said it's like something that can barely be sustained. What kind of worth would
Let's
that
put
be?
it this way. We're in the 1920s. Electricity was invented, right? 30s.
Yeah.
30s. Yes.
30s.
Electricity has been invented for like 100 years.
Okay, that's good. I couldn't remember when. It's like, have any of you seen pictures of New York?
Yeah.
Sure.
No.
Japanese man says no.
Well,
What's
think
that?
of this. Think of starlights, but in little glass bottles, and that takes power to do so.
I mean, I know what electricity is, but
Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't know how.
I was in Russia.
You know
That's
what? I
nothing
never
in
established
Russia.
where Oliver's family is from. They should probably come from Virginia or some such.
So,
Sorry.
continue, Gianna.
But yes, it's like trying to put up all those small little lights with one tiny little battery or one little generator. It's just not feasible. Or if it is feasible, it is very, very difficult to do
You need
so or maintain.
You need some child basements.
Yes.
Damn it.
or vast amounts of kidnapping people.
Vast amounts of kidnapping, yes.
Yes. Yes.
So,
You add a few more generators
and add a few more
Ah.
characters.
just to add to
Yes.
that metaphor.
But
Oliver.
Yes?
Go ahead, Jen.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just continuing that line of thought, so go ahead and give him his results.
So, Oliver, you hear Gianna speak about wanting this weapon being a possible catalyst, summoning heroic spirits. You remember how shady the contractor was when dealing with this topic specifically, of what he needed the sword for.
Yes.
You recall back This is basically like a buried memory that just got triggered back to at some point whenever your foster family was trying to lack of better word, groom you into a ritual that was coming up. That the same words were being thrown around as well. Catalyst, heroic spirit, summoning. That they don't seem unrelated.
Oliver stays quiet for a moment.
While people discuss like
But-
bones.
But yes, the basic concept is it requires so much energy that it's more of a haha, look what I can do type thing. It's not sustainable for any length of time. It might be used in like a pinch and for a battle scenario, but this requires a lot of ritual preparation. So that's just not
what
really.
What if you tie because like aren't like couldn't you just like tie like the servants like the battery you need for sustaining the heroic spirit, so like a ley line? That'd be like
Well,
that's like an
that's-
infinite amount of magic.
It's not infinite, but the problem with that is that there has to be a tether there, and whoever has the tether has the whole point of having a familiar is that you can control it, and you have to have that direct tether. If you give the tether to the ley line, you see where I'm going with this.
Oliver kind of like looks at Gianna, like
So
kind of
it's
half
just-
staring.
Just
What-
lost in
I'll
thought.
be right back. I'm gonna go look at. Gio's gonna go look at the like the if there's like a plaque for the sword for on like where the sword's like for the sword. He's gonna like, yes. Let me see what this says. And like then realizes he doesn't speak Greek. He doesn't read it.
Ah yes, letters.
What I don't get is why are there two of them? Who made the
one's-
second one? And why are
One's
they
designed to be
here
a copy.
if they have both?
Well, I assume one's designed to be a copy. It's the thing with the heroic servants is that based on what I know, I've only heard rumors here and there because it's a fascinating subject. Excuse me, to say the least. There are variations, or heroic spirits are like, you know how in myths we exonerate certain things and downplay others, that sort of thing. It would be an exaggeration of the real person or the myth.
Right.
So with a copy like this, you might get certain aspects, you might get other certain aspects. But with the actual the actual sword holds up the right one, you would get the closest to who they actually were,
Well,
or
yes.
the closest representation to their concept.
What is the purpose of summoning a heroic spirit?
Well, at least within what I've heard, it's largely like what would be a
Proof of
good
concept.
word? Proof of concept. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Gabriella.
Right.
Like those heroic spirits
Big guns.
live in the heroic spirits live in they're stored in the throne, which is very close to the root. So you could, if you can,
You could use them to study the root,
yeah.
Okay.
or in some way.
Why?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
It's,
It's why it's why the Department of Summoning wants to get their hands on a heroic spirit.
it's very much just a very personal thing, usually. Like
That was
the
Oliver
individual
asking,
thing.
by the way, in case it wasn't clear.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like out of
They're just
character,
giving
that's
Gianna
what they would do.
information.
Like in character,
yeah.
he was asking.
Well, the entire thing is that heroic spirits, at least the concepts that embody them, tend to be very close to the root. So if you can manage to get a specific individual that just happens to know, I don't know, time travel or has been known to dabble with spatial fuckery, you could maybe learn something and replicate it, depending on who you are and if, you can actually control them, or better yet, use them as the vessel for controlling. But that's again very difficult to do.
Oliver kind of like asks to see the sword from whoever has it in their hand right now.
Epigiana.
He'll just kind of like hold out his hand and swing it around a bit and haphazardly, obviously not around her. He'll say, so I just had a blast from the past. A lot of the stuff that we're talking about is stuff that I didn't realize was very important to my family. Do you recall when I said that they were trying to use me for something?
Habitual, yes.
Well, heroic spirits, rituals, a lot of the terms that you've been throwing around just kind of popped back in my mind from when I was young. Could it be that they were training me to be that battery you were suggesting we needed?
Training you to be the battery.
Further, could they be working with the contractor?
What?
Yeah.
On batteries, you'd have to be like Ilya level magic circuits to actually be worth it.
But based on what I know of his magic crest, with how rather powerful it is compared to most others, would that be viable? Even if for like a very short term type thing.
I come from a very old family.
Are you talking
Adopted
about
family.
Oh, that's me to using my arcana knowledge to be like, is that possible since he comes from a very old family?
But are you talking about Oliver?
Yes.
Okay.
His magic crest, since I've actually have studied it before.
Yeah, no, I was just confirming because I was looking at another thing while we were talking. So yes, if Oliver were to reach the level of a magus that old family would expect from their family crest's bearer, you think that he'd be able to I wouldn't say at least, but not also at most, but he could partake in summoning, not necessarily maintaining.
Yeah.
Like, in one of the end roots, like Rin was able to keep Saber around, but they couldn't really do much.
Yes, and also Rin is the exception of the exception of the exception.
Rin is top tier.
Yes.
You have to be top tier to be able to do that.
Top tier and everything.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
Adamant, yes, or Shade.
Oliver will hand the sword back to her.
I would say just
Was this all publicized information?
Oliver just said it out loud, yeah.
Yes.
Jackson gets
Wait.
worried
Speak.
fast.
What was that, Shade?
I was gonna say I'm just kind of looking over this thing. This seems rather odd still, though. I mean, I'm a bit concerned on what our contractor might be wanting such a thing for.
It's just, yeah. Especially if it's related to your family.
It's
Well,
just
you said that
speculation
your
at this point.
character- If your family is partaking in some sort of ritual, then it's likely that if he's also trying to do something involving like procuring something that could help in said ritual, it might be that he's also partaking in it.
More than likely.
But that'd be two
Also,
different.
I need to go eat dinner, so I'll be right back.
You go.
But that'd be two different unless they're going for the same type of ritual.
I wouldn't be able to tell you
mean-
much beyond what I've heard. I mean, what I've heard when I was a kid. This is just me being paranoid right now. We're kind of traveling with an assassin that was trying to bring me back, so we would stand to reason that maybe they're working with your contractor and that I just fell into his lap.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Oh,
Gianna, you remember what we spoke about a few nights back, didn't you?
Gianni remembers, yes, but could you remind me?
About the magic crest?
Oh, about yours?
Yes.
Yeah, just look at my notes for 1 second.
He says that with the worriedest face.
The most worrisome of faces.
Yes.
Just spend some time on fellows. That's his crest. I don't need his crest. I need your crest.
You all notice that during this whole time, Dahlia is just napping on the floor.
Good. She can't be a part of this conversation.
Oh no, as soon as Gianna sat down and then everyone also sat down, she just flopped on the floor.
Dead.
She doesn't much care about anything.
Good.
This is mage talk.
This is mage
Okay,
talk.
there we go.
I am no mage sleep.
Made shit, I sleep.
Exactly.
Alright, yes. Okay, yeah, I remember.
You understand why I'm concerned about this, right?
A moat, especially if it relates to your waggles fingers at you unique physicality.
care to share with the class?
Shall I, or
Should I?
Because,
looks
I
at
mean,
you with
if
a
it
worried
involves
face.
me, I kind of want to know.
it's probably less of a possibility because then he'd also have to be a part of the ritual. But in order to
You could tell him if you really think it's okay to do it.
alright, well then
I'm not the expert. here.
Malva, could you
Yes?
remind me in private
Yes?
how long ago did your master die?
It's a good fucking question.
Just keep going
That's a-
with where you were going, Gianna.
Okay, so you know how in order to give a magic crest, it has to be someone related. It's similar to an organ transplant.
Yes.
They have to have similar physicality.
Yes.
Individuals such as Jackson don't have that restriction.
Yes.
They can morph and shift their body at will. So, in this case, they could also receive crests.
I see.
But a rather concerning thing.
Yes.
Yes, but again,
So, if what you say about your crest is true, then you see why I should also be worried.
well, they would
I
have
should
to
not.
also somehow get a hold of you, possibly brainwash you, and then use you for other things. I assume you haven't been contracted to graft something to your skin.
It's not a probability, but it is a possibility, and
Well, this is all theory and conjecture.
Yes.
So you're saying that
but you're
should
saying
I be unwilling to participate, that you would be a suitable alternative?
No, I'm saying you should absolutely be unwilling to participate, and so will I.
So, Malva,
Yes.
could you
Oh God.
me,
Oh God.
history check
Intelligence saving throw.
with disadvantage?
History. Oh, this. Okay.
With disadvantage.
Roll
Oh.
intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Okay. No, it's fine.
So,
I also just
People-
noticed I should have history proficiency this whole time. Disadvantage, correct?
Yes.
let's see how this shit.
Oh God, please.
A 7 and an 8. Interesting.
That's not bad.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Could be very worse.
Um,
Much worse.
you try to, just because it's always the back of your mind, you're always looking for any in that could lead you to whatever happened
He is a very paranoid man. Yes.
multiple years ago. This talk of catalyst, of specifically the word catalyst,
Oh God.
is something that would have come up in some of the later talks, later contracts before that fatal night. Just contracts, just catalysts. Nothing was ever said of rituals, of heroic spirits, just catalysts.
And any specific context? The retrieval.
Different people asking for, as maybe an added bonus on a target. If they had something on them, please acquire. Never specifically to go out of yours. I just used
right.
I just used the S on your to add plural. Yes, yours ways.
Yes.
You just had. It was always something that was secondary or on the backdrop.
Right. So a secondary objective.
Yeah, it was never the main thing, and also never something that you looked for specifically.
But is it in the context of retrieval, investigation?
Yes. Mostly retrieval.
Mhm.
It was mostly like, oh, I need you to please take care of this person, and on the information that you would receive about said person, there was always in the later contracts that started to have something related to check if catalysts are available or something like that. It was specific.
In the proverbial pinboard full of leads that he has in his head, where do those lead? Are they connected to something? Or are they just something that happened that I've yet to connect with something?
As soon as this word started to show up, the contract started getting more difficult to execute, to the point of slowing down the amount of contracts because of the difficulty and the setbacks that you had in completing them. Which you also would know that it was because you started targeting people of higher standing. More well-known mages, more well-known church members.
Right.
Because also you started gaining fame, and it's a snowball effect.
Right. Is that all I know, or
yes.
Could you could we talk in private later to
yes.
flesh this out a bit better?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
It's mostly just a pain that you remember. As soon as everyone started talking about Catalyst, it was something that like, maybe something.
Right. Right. What also concerns me is if we are to assume that these undead were sent here to retrieve this catalyst, correct?
It was then they were on their persons, so I assume so.
And why are there two of them if there was only one display?
But I
planning to plant the fake.
Yeah, it was a replacement.
Why would they need to replace it if it's almost as good as the original? Shouldn't they keep both? Why the need to replace it at all if people were missing in the island? A dead apostle on the nearby island? To me, it seems they had this island under their complete dominion. I see no reason to stealthily switch out swords.
Could I give a statement on that for just trying to think through their line of thinking?
Yes.
Sure.
If they want to make sure that whatever they have doesn't get discovered, it was lost, effectively.
They probably planted that fake.
Yes. This might be a longer-term plan than we're considering, and this would be a risk of getting discovered.
By whom?
Well, so far
A different mage family, perhaps?
we have Oliver's family that's wanting to do this ritual. We have the contractor that is potentially going to do this ritual, and now we also have the undead, or whoever's controlling them, another dead apostle, that wants to do this as well. That's 3 different people. Now,
let me just say one thing that
Yes.
may have gone over your heads, and also it happened like 2 months ago when we started the fight. One of the either the ghast or the ghoul, I don't remember which one off the top of my head. As soon as they came out of the museum to fight you, they raised the sword and said, "Our master said that you are after this." Just information that I'm noticing that was said during combat and was probably forgotten.
Yes.
I don't remember that at all.
So they could also trying to botch a different, or trying to give something less powerful to whoever the contractor.
Sabotage us?
So they know the
Or-
contractor's trying to get this ritual done.
What do you
Because
know
of
of the
the-
contractor?
Good question. Yes.
I
No,
do
no.
know of one thing. He, if I recall correctly, he is of the Matteau family.
Wait.
Out of character, I cringed.
I cringed. Oh no.
Would I,
let me
with my
just-
expertise,
Let me just say
know
one
like?
thing. The contractor.
We talked about it months ago.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure if I gave you the correct name. Yes. Yes, that is correct. Yes, Jana?
With my extensive history, would I know, or with my expertise, would I know that name, or that's like that specific name is like one of the big mage families?
You can either roll a history or arcana check. Anyone that
I
wants to
am.
know can.
I will roll
Okay.
Arcana.
Sure.
Because
I will
goddammit.
roll.
I mean,
Fine,
I don't know
Arcana.
if it would be appropriate for Oliver to roll because he probably learned this, but he probably didn't pay much attention to it. It was never important to him. So actually, I won't roll.
So actually, no, fuck you.
Matsu. Why does that name sound familiar?
Because
Because did everyone roll? Holy shit, that's a 27.
it is indeed.
Choosing not to roll for obvious reasons.
Sorry, I
know
got
too
it.
much.
I was dealing with something real quick. What's the current rule?
To know if you know anything about the Mato family.
Okay, so
Arcana or history?
Arcana.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what? Maybe something like maybe something got through. Here you go. Enjoy that. Yeah, no, he didn't care. I was right. I was dead on the
Like
first
gaining
time.
inspiration at least.
Yes, true.
Ah, yay.
So, Edmund first from the 20. Mato family. You would know that they were once known as the Makiti family. They started off in Russia.
Really?
Who would have thought? They started out in Russia. They are around, considering the starting date of the game, they are around 400 years old. The Mato family. But around 100 years ago, they relocated to Japan. At least, the main branch of the family relocated to Japan. The one interesting thing about the Mato family is that their family head has been the same since its inception. A name that strikes fear in many a mage. The family head is known as Zoken Mato. You would also note that the reason why he is still the family head and the reason why the Mato are well known is because their magecraft of choice is focused around the concept of absorbing, which could also mean to bind something to one's self. They could use, and that is why Zoken's name strikes fear in people, crest worms. The process of eating one's insides using worms that are all personal familiars of Zoken to generate magical energy to keep his existence going. That would be most of what is known with a 20 about the Mato family. But
What about 27?
what about 27 though? So you would know more details about their magic. The crest worms are used to expand Zoken's magical circuits. They are basically small extensions of his magical circuits that can eat away the magical circuits of other people so that he gains their energy and can want, and this is the process that allowed more specifically him to live, to transfer his consciousness, his existence from one crestworm host to another, keeping himself alive and in control of the family. It is also, because of that, a family that is quite difficult to sustain, because your family head is always the same person and with the same ideas. It's not a family that evolves. It's a family that has name because of how long they have been here, not necessarily because they are powerful or because they do something with magic that others can't. It is possible, and this is the part that mages hate the most about the Mato, to use the worms in someone that has no experience, that is not a magus, and turn them into a magus. So they can create a magus that could, in the future, keep the family running or going because of their worms. And if you ever need to know what a crest worm looks like, they are quite literally penises.
Yes. Thanks for
Yep, we've
reminding
seen
me
that.
of that.
Yep.
You just gotta make sure that I follow the source material as closely
Thanks.
as possible.
You had
Thanks
to use
for
the
reminding me
paper
about the room full of dickworms.
Dickworms, yes.
writing on just small child. Thank you for this.
Yes.
This
Thanks.
is
Yeah.
This is
I
fake.
really needed to be reminded of that.
Of
It's an
course.
instance where we prefer the censored version.
Yes. So that is the Mato family. I will not be repeating myself.
Are we not sure we want to just let them like die off?
Yeah.
Well, I assume you explained all that.
Yes. I mean, both Jiro and I. Yes.
Not Jiro, Edmund.
No, not Jiro. Edmund. Yes. I'd never get the two confused.
I'd
No.
say Edmund would explain it, but with a very unhappy look to be talking about this.
Disgusting.
Oh,
this
I
is their
remember
employer?
them.
You.
Oh, I remember them. Disgusting.
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 I mean, not much tops what was inside of your coat, but I think that kind of tops it. Yep.
Don't you dare compare the two.
I did, but I mean worms. Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Don't
So,
you dare compare my babies
Hold on.
to that disgusting fucking.
also now that your children. No, never mind. I'm not touching this. Back to the topic at hand.
So we're working
So-
for this disgusting fuck?
Yes.
Well, we don't know. Well, if he's a part of the Mato family, then more than likely he's in league with Zokin. And
Well-
they're exceptionally powerful, so that would make sense why they would be trying this ballsy maneuver.
Then he
Indeed.
needs to not get that
Jiro's
sword.
eyes phase like Jiro faces back into existence.
Huh?
It was
I
mage
mean-
talk, you wouldn't understand.
Their
Then-
family is on the back foot, so it makes sense why they'd be a little bit desperate for more power.
They
So-
desperately need to not get that sword then.
Yes.
I
I
do.
agree.
So what you're saying is we give them the replica.
I'm saying we give them nothing.
Say we didn't. Well, okay, let's.
Say if you could.
You know, you remember how I said long ago that we shouldn't discuss certain things with the contractor? Does this reinforce that plan, and can we actually follow it?
Yes.
Good.
I mean, I haven't really had contact with the contractor outside of the sending spell he sent me yesterday, so that's on you guys.
I mean,
yes, that.
if only we had a place where we could safely tuck the swords away from prying eyes.
Well, I have several places I can do that, but they last temporarily.
Yeah, I have a backpack.
Chiro, sweetheart, no.
You don't have any seeds for them.
I happen to have a place where they can fit.
Please no.
Don't don't put sharp objects in the bag of holding. It will tear.
It will explode.
You don't
Because
know
that-
about the. You don't know about the strength of my bag of holding. Okay.
If it's a bag of holding, it will work that way. It will cut through it
Just,
unless you do something to dull the edge, or just hide the edge, or wrap it up. Do something.
just
We
cut
could
his
destroy it.
jacket open. Nothing bad will happen.
I mean, this would probably be a better case of hiding it rather than carrying it with us.
We could destroy it.
After all, we're
I am actually in
uh,
favor of that option. The same as we did with Lord Never Ember's tomb.
Yes, but more thorough this time.
Yes.
Why do you remind me of that?
I say we chop it up, turn it into dust, and throw it at the bottom of the sea.
Yes.
But the history.
You were about to steal it and give it to a fucking psychopath.
You were
I was
saying-
going
Now
to
you're
give
worried
it to
about
him.
history?
Don't you? I wasn't going to give it to him. Don't you put words in my mouth.
What were you
I'm
planning
just
to do
gonna-
with it?
Keep it.
I'm
And
just
how
going to
would
not
you-
say anything because I'm in favor of just getting money.
And how would you tell him that you didn't procure it exactly?
by walking up to him and saying, "We weren't able to find it. There were undead there, and one of them absconded." There you go.
Well, actually, that would jive with the story I told him about the undead earlier.
We could say that Jackson's coding it.
No.
No.
We cannot
Do not say
say. Do
That is a
not.
resounding no.
Could I say a better wording there? Lost in combat.
Sure.
Because it implies that we don't know where it ended up either way.
I was
You
going to
could
say
say,
a stray
before we-
fireball or two found their way to the sword.
You could just say it was gone before we got there. So
That
we
also
aren't
too.
questioned. So we aren't questioned about why there was a fleeing thing that we couldn't catch up to.
Just
Also-
so
Putting
you
it
all
for
know-
safekeeping then.
Just so you all know, you never took the job.
That is
That's
true.
That's true.
We are under no obligation to give it to him.
Yes.
Look,
we
I
didn't?
can't wait. Neither of these swords are the one we're hired to get.
Wait a second, GM. Question. Didn't you say that the contractor say that we had to take the job if he was going to elaborate? And he
Yes.
did
And
elaborate?
he never elaborated.
Yeah,
Oh, he
he
didn't
actually never
elaborate.
did elaborate. He just said he needed 2 swords from this,
I
or
thought
a
he-
sword from this museum.
Yes.
I
Indeed.
thought he did.
He just
Oh.
he said he needed a sword and he had a picture of the sword. He presented the picture, but as soon as Gianna tried to take it, he said, "Nope, you will only have it when you accept the job."
I see.
And we kept thinking about it until we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're under no responsibility on our own for doing
Actually-
this.
Actually, this just to make sure things are in order.
Well, there's
do
a
the
problem
swords match
because-
the picture?
You didn't see the picture. He presented
There's
the
a
picture
problem
for-
because the contractor knows that we came here to obtain the
Does
sword.
he?
Yes, he does.
He does not know. How would he know?
How
You said
does he
you
know?
were going to the museum. You didn't say which. Mykonos has more than one.
Ah, okay.
Mykonos has one museum local to the place and the museum.
Rue, I didn't mention the sword. Okay, we're good.
So-
mention neither the sword, neither which museum you were going to. He will probably assume, but that's on him.
So, regardless of what way we choose to go, either keeping both for ourselves or destroying both,
Well, I'd say at least you can destroy the replica. That I'm for all 100%. Take that one. But this one,
how are we? You do understand, Lieslov is a
yes, I understand the consequences, but it's
Should you
history.
not-
I mean, do
should
we
we
want
not
to
keep both
participate
in
in the
case-
ritual?
No, yeah, I'm not
For
saying
ourselves?
I'm not talking about just him being a wriggly little worm parasite. I'm saying you do understand he's a fair bit more powerful than we are currently, and
Here's my
regardless of
opinion.
whether or not we took the contract and are under any obligation to give the sword unto him, you do understand he's going to at least try and strong arm us into doing it. If
And
he
with that-
if he gets any whiff that we ever went near the sword.
With that in mind, we keep both. You hide them in your thing after wrapping them up, and then if he ever comes by and tries to force us, give him the fake.
I'm all for just giving him the fake one since it seems to be the one that gives him the worst off for it.
It has a possibility for giving the worst off.
Just
Out
in
of
case
curiosity,
you have-
Do we want to try to do the ritual ourselves?
We
We don't know
Oh,
how.
That's I can give you the theoretical spiel of how we could, but there's a big difference between theory and practice.
Do we even have the necessary power to undertake this?
Well, we are in ancient Greece. There are ley lines around here. I just don't know where.
just
mean,
in
we could
case,
probably track them
because,
down.
The short rest has ended a while ago because has been more than an hour than we have been talking. If you wish to do anything, walk, start making your way back, that is up to you. Just letting you know that the short rest has already ended.
Making my
like,
way
you're-
downtown.
If there is a plaque for the sword, he's gonna like, since he can't read, he'll like look to someone who can read Greek and like, oh yeah, what does this say?
Just
I'll
take the
waddle
plaque.
over and read it. I'll waddle over and read it.
You would note that the inscription of said swords, said sword, not with another S at the end, would say that these were swords used by soldiers of King Theseus.
Used by soldiers of King Theseus.
Theseus? It
Theseus.
sounds familiar. It sounds like it's some.
Yes.
Do I know-
It's that Theseus.
It's the guy.
Didn't he feel like a bowl person?
A bull person?
A
You'll
bowl
be
person?
so like history if you want to know who Theseus is.
Theseus is a major character in a lot of things.
It's the
including-
guy from the ship.
It's the guy from the ship. It's the guy that killed the Minotaur.
He's in a play by Shakespeare.
He's in a play by Shakespeare.
Okay, listen, I'm not as cultured as you are. Give me the spiel of who he is, please.
Theseus is probably like number 5 in the most famous Greek heroes.
With a 20,
Yes.
you know that he is the first king of Athens. That he is
He sucks. He's a really terrible person.
allegedly he is a terrible person. Allegedly he is the son of Poseidon. He's one son of Poseidon. Allegedly he killed the Minotaur.
And he killed his dad,
Ariadne.
and he killed his dad because he was stupid and forgot to change his flag's color.
And allegedly, the Theseus ship is something he came up with.
No, the ship of Theseus that's a thought that's completely unrelated to Theseus himself.
I don't think that
Allegedly.
the thought of the ship of Theseus had already existed.
Well, yeah, but it's just completely unrelated. There's a thought exercise created by Plato or something. I
Later.
think. Yeah, it was like 1,000 years after Theseus would have existed. Completely unrelated to him.
It's a thought experiment. It doesn't.
He also helped
But it has
establish
been changed, so it could be possible.
He also helped us establish democracy in Athens.
Yes, he's the first king of Athens. Well, with that is the information that you get with the 20.
Okay, so that would be like a so he's probably going to summon this guy, or there's a high likelihood.
Or
He's
someone
all he's
of importance inside his army.
yeah.
King
Right.
Theseus.
So, put these in a box and away they go. Yeah?
So long as you don't destroy them, fine.
Be so
fine.
curmudgeon about it. We're not destroying them yet.
No, we're not destroying them.
Wait until you're in front of the contractor, then just break it over your knee.
Yes.
I mean, you could still use the catalyst if you broke it over your knee.
Yes.
It'd just be in 2 pieces.
Yes. Just summon 2 swords instead of 1.
I'll strap a stick of dynamite to it. Don't you come near me!
No, you'd have to be like a super fancy and be like the Edelfelt twins with that very special thaumaturgical attribute.
Or
That's
you could
confusing and never explained once. Because fate doesn't explain things.
We could just get Jiro to cut it to pieces.
Yes, he just judgment cuts the sword.
Yes.
I am the storm that is slowly approaching.
I am the breeze.
That is
I have the breeze that is gusting.
Yes.
So, with that
Okay,
information,
Yeah.
do you proceed?
We'll find some random cloth stuff and wrap the swords, the blade of the swords, so they aren't sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll begrudgingly give them to
This is more a
Jackson.
question to Gianna than it is to FJ. Would Gianna do anything in her mind or physically to remember which one is the fake?
Well, there's a problem that once I take a short rest, this knowledge just disappears. So,
Just wrap them in different
things.
things.
You held the fake one in your left hand and the real one in your right hand.
Just
so
put a
Yeah, currently,
scratch
that's why I'm
on the
holding it right now.
fucking sword that says
But
this is.
Just wrap them in different things.
yeah, wrap one in blue and the other in red.
Okay,
Which-
just wanted to make sure which one is.
Yeah, there would be some difference between the two. Yes, that would be recognizable by everybody.
Okay, everyone in the group just like, okay, everyone,
Here.
this is the
They're
red
both-
sword, this is the
They're
red
both,
sword.
yeah, they're both wrapped in like the same tan cloth, but Jackson just like bites his thumb and smears a bit of blood in the true one.
Good.
Yes.
And then he shoves them into his tentacles.
And then a tentacle lovingly wraps around the sword and pulls it under his coat.
What color
So
do your
that's-
tentacles bleed?
I'm sorry, what?
What color do your tentacles bleed?
I'm
Blue,
not
black.
sure. Black?
Have you ever cut a tentacle?
I don't believe they've ever suffered any sort of damage. In fact, they've been able to stop most of the swords that have come my way.
Oh, keep that in mind.
just the Kurt.
I love it when people become villagers.
Is that a challenge?
Look,
Oh,
Edmund
There's
is
a
now
thinly
talking
veiled
about thing
threat.
and thus plotting his demise.
Aw.
Okay, so shall we go back and make sure our fisherman is still there that will take us back home?
Yes. Preferably he hasn't become ghoul food by now.
And then
Yes.
the cover of bases, we should probably go to the other
Museum.
Will
museum, just in case.
yes. Will the we need to get this straight. He's talking as we go. What are we going to tell him exactly happened? Just in case he questions us.
We
I don't know,
just
but
we
I
just
prefer one
don't
of you
talk
tell
about it.
him.
Well, so long as he doesn't talk about it, then we should be fine.
But did we ever come here?
No.
Oh, that
Does he have any way of verifying where we went?
I assume he would have some way to verify where we are.
so.
That's
Could I say in this regard, it'd be better to say that we had come to take a look.
And found nothing?
Oh, found undead.
We could say we did find a display for a sword of Theseus, but there was
I
no
don't think
sword.
I don't think we should say the name.
Sure,
personally.
that's sure. But we didn't
Found it.
actually find the sword.
We found a display for a sword, but the
Smashed.
sword in question
But it was
the
already
sword in
gone.
question was gone.
Gone. Sure.
We also don't know what it looks like
Yeah,
technically
and-
based on.
yeah. So as far as we know, unless we gathered every single sword in there, we'd be like, we're leaving. We don't know what it looks
Sure.
like.
I
And it's
just
probably the one that was taken.
I just want to get
Bada
this
bing.
straight because it seems like that's the only sword in the museum.
I mean, the statues were wielding swords.
That's
Yeah,
true.
those are statues.
Yeah,
You can't call those.
There weren't real like complete swords beside.
Those
this
are
one.
they were
mostly
stone.
broken, yeah. They were mostly broken or part of a statue. But
Right.
These seemed to be the sword in display.
So yeah, I'd say that's probably the best idea. Whoever gets the next update, say we went to a museum. We were attacked by undead, and we tried looking for the sword but didn't find one, or tried looking for a sword but didn't find one.
We actually didn't go to the museum on purpose. Or did we?
Let's just say we're investigating the.
We were
rumors of
investigating the
undead.
disappearance of people in the island, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and we
That's
just
awesome.
happened upon the there and just said, might as well just check that place out. Found
It
nothing
is
in there.
pretty much the only thing in this island. And we didn't actually find any people, did we? Oh, not any alive people.
So far, no. We haven't checked every square inch, but
I mean, it's pretty safe to say.
Hmm.
With that kind of level undead.
that is fair.
Not many people could stand up to him that aren't preternatural in nature.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, that's that then.
Also,
So
I
we're
understood
looking-
that at least someone woke up Dahlia before you left.
Oh yeah.
Admin would
obvious.
have.
We left
know.
her sleeping in the middle of
No,
the
no.
fucking.
She stays here.
She wakes up at like 2 a.m. Where am I?
Everybody
Where is
leaves. Someone
everyone?
just goes up to her. That's as far as you go.
What planet is
Stabs
this?
her in the kidney.
Look, we're leaving her to fight the rusty undead that ran.
Ah, yes.
Oh. Actually, we might want to be concerned about the undead that are still.
Oh no, they
Running?
came back and we killed them.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
the
Yes.
Mhm.
It was
Because we had range.
Yes.
yeah.
Do you
Fair
think
enough,
there are
I
any
couldn't
more in
remember.
this island?
There might be some stragglers, but if you
Yeah,
want to
it's
spend the
probably
time, if you want to spend the time looking, I'm not opposed to the idea.
No, it's a waste of
That'd
time.
likely be a church cleanup operation, if anything.
We don't have to do everything.
Be up to the church, really. They could probably just send like executors here.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
If you want, I
Right.
can just take a look around. My specialty is in finding them.
And do you
You
need
think that's a
support in
good-
it?
If you think do you need like an escort, or is it just like you magically ping the area?
Yes. I do not need to see them, I just need to feel them.
And that's
Oh.
fine with me.
Just go for it.
In this tiny island, she takes about like 20 minutes to just go around the island, comes back. There were a few, but mostly just have been taken care of.
It's not any large threats. Okay.
No, there doesn't seem to be anything else. It seems that whatever is things that you all decided to take were all that mattered here.
Good.
So yeah, if anything, there'd be like a cleanup operation by either the Patrons Association or the church.
I mean, there's an executor on site. He's just not very, enthusiastic about doing his job.
No, he's very enthusiastic about getting the big kills, the big target.
As one
That's
do-
not very methodical of him.
He's also
But
not
what
very
if-
good at his job.
He is there to kill the big things. At least that's what I know of his reputation. Never had met him, and still haven't met him. He was invisible while we talked.
Well, you never will see him.
I hope so, because if I do see him, that means he's fighting something near me, and I probably want to be very far away from that.
Well,
Possible.
onwards.
Hmm.
Let's see if the barge guy's still alive.
Nervous
to the
laugh.
meta.
Haha, yeah.
Yes.
I shall feed him to my tentacles.
Yes.
So, as you make your way back, you had agreed with Mr. Sailorman that if nightfall arrived, that he could go back home.
Yeah.
But nightfall has not yet arrived because you did this the first thing in the morning. So it's not even midday.
Were we in earshot at all? Like, these people get off my boat and I hear some explosions off in the far distance and then they come back.
Probably.
Hopefully he didn't see me flying.
No, you couldn't see anything. The fog is way too dense in this island specifically. Not Delos, but Mykonos.
You may have heard some stuff though,
He heard things probably.
like some
Jackson.
fireballs.
We could
Jackson.
just chalk it up to thunder.
Also, I
Jackson.
will say, if this is the island of Delos, it's likely they're would be a ley line, at least one ley line crossing it, because of like 2 gods were born on it supposedly.
It is a possibility.
So
I will
there's
write that
likely
down.
there's likely some sort of magical influence to it, as it is steeped in mystery.
Mystery. Mystery with capital M, because it's a fate term.
Mystery with 2 Y's.
Of course, this is again all out of character, so Jared wouldn't know this.
It's already got 2 Y's.
Ah! I forgot!
It's already mystery.
Mystery, yes.
Look at that. That looks like a. That's a completely different word. You're like a mister.
Mister.
Mystery.
Mystery. You're like
My-
Mister.
How much of a mister you are. It's your mystery.
Well,
But yes,
you
How
reach-
mystery are you?
You reach Mr. Old Man in Boat.
You could also just come running to the boat and tell him just go! Just go! Go!
We don't want
Like Captain
we don't
Jack
want-
Sparrow style,
Yes.
going off the island.
Yes.
Alas, my children, you will always remember this as the day you almost caught Captain Jack Splash.
Captain Jackson. And he's just there, just like hanging back on his boat, just, waiting. He probably has a fishing rod out, just trying to catch some fish.
Also has a book open beside him, just like, ah yes, I'm reading Tolkien.
Ah yes, I'm reading this new thing that came out.
Something called Lord of the Rings. Nah,
Based
that'll
on
be
it.
The Hobbit.
It would probably be The Hobbit, yes.
Anachronisms.
Yes, Gianna will speak to him in Greek again. Hello, we're back.
He just continues focusing on his fishing rod. Doesn't seem to have heard you.
Hello.
Hobbit.
You see
Don't
that
make
he
me shake the
stands
boat.
up and
So
starts
soon.
pulling the rod closer. He's like using all of his strength to pull whatever is pulling him closer.
Ah, I see. Okay, he's.
Give him a moment.
Like we just switch to his perspective, like intense music's playing.
Yes.
Feeling he caught himself an undead.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
He pulls from one side to the other. He takes a few steps forward. The boat starts to like shift to the side he's on as he takes steps closer to
$1 says he makes it.
to the edge of the boat and starts pulling and starts pulling. And you just watch as he falls back into the boat, pulling the fishing rod, and a small, like 10 centimeters fish flops onto his chest.
Tiniest fish.
Oh my god.
And he just,
Were you rolling for that?
I rolled to see if he would pull the fish. Yes.
Is a slight
Nice.
breeze gonna knock our captain over?
And he,
Oliver says, "Opa!" and breaks a dish.
as he does, he just like grabs the fish with one hand and just pulls the hook from the fish's mouth and just throws it in a bag. And you
Turns out
notice
he's been
that the
just
bag
doing
has,
that for 6 hours.
Yeah, the bag has like 2 fish on it now that he thrown the second one.
Good catch. Good catch, Captain.
Oh, I didn't see you had returned.
Just did.
He just like does that thing when you want to say something but you stop yourself, so he just opens his mouth, closes it, I'm not gonna question y'all about the towns. So if
What
you just
towns?
wanna
What?
go back,
I didn't hear
What
any
sound?
sounds.
Sounds.
I mean the screaming, the shouting, the explosion.
You okay?
I'm
I
just.
I think
not-
you. I think you might need to get your hearing checked.
Out of character, not to mention all of your torn clothes.
Yes.
We repaired that
No.
shit. Shh.
My clothes were already torn. I don't know what you're talking about.
True.
The battle ends. The tears on Jackson's clothes shift to a hidden place.
Well, you can repair the
Zero is
tears. You can't really repair the
Zero-
burns.
Jiro is practically shirtless now.
Yes.
There was a lot of
And
Lot of
also
fire goals.
fire, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll be fine.
He just hand waves. If you just want to get back, I can take you there. There's no problem.
Sure
Yes.
thing.
That. Yes.
That'd be good.
He just.
Oh wait, Jiro doesn't speak Greek, so he doesn't even understand what he's saying. Damn it! I can't
Yes.
say. I can't make my funny things.
My funny things.
The
Just
funnies.
Get the bag of two fish that are bouncing on each other. Places them in front of him. And
Wait,
waits
don't we
for
have-
him.
Don't we have comprehend languages like 24 hours?
We have a crystal that allows us to cast it ritually.
Yes.
So
Also,
It's
we have
already-
Oliver
You're
that
still
actually
not gonna-
speaks the language.
And
You're still not gonna
both
make
Oliver and-
Jiro learn it.
yeah, I got one that has comprehend languages and detect magics in the bag.
Yes.
Man refuses to comprehend languages.
I don't know rituals. That's a whole thing.
That's the whole point. You don't have to know the ritual to use the thing.
I don't know them. I'm illiterate.
I'm illiterate.
That's bullshit. You know, I could take that excuse from Jiro, not from you.
Also, you can't take that excuse from Jiro. He said he read books. He specifically
He's read.
quoted
He's read like
Sherlock Holmes.
Tolkien. Yeah, like Sherlock Holmes and The Hobbit.
Just you know, The Hobbit was released 1937.
It's not The Hobbit, but it's other Tolkien books.
Similarly,
Elden Ring.
probably.
Lord of the Rings was released after The Hobbit,
Yeah.
1950s.
Silmarillion.
That was
Jules Verne.
It also works.
He's subliterate.
Wayne and the Green
So
Knight.
literate.
yeah.
The
the-
Oxford Dictionary.
None. His the earliest book he wrote was The Hobbit, which was 1937.
Yeah, it's 37. Yeah, but he read Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes is the thing, but Tolkien was in the war.
Yeah, Tolkien was in the war. It's true.
That is very true.
So he likes to read the cop books about Sherlock Holmes.
The mysteries.
Very good, by the way.
I would not know. I have never read them.
The whole collection's like right there.
Agatha Christie's a bit better.
Agatha Christie is so good.
I never read a Christie book, actually.
Neither have I.
I've read one or two.
Sadly.
They are really good.
They are the classics when it comes to mystery.
And then there were none.
Is she the author of ABC Murders?
Yeah. I know that much.
At least she also did the Oriental Express.
I think so.
Mhm.
Like
And
she
I think Knives Out
she is one of the most famous authors in the world.
is.
Anyways, onwards. We're all reading. We're all reading old. We're reading new old books.
Yes, everyone just decided to take out their Sherlock Holmes and read.
Turns out, like, no, we're all just like reading buddies. Nothing else.
Yes. Book
Yes.
club.
Book club.
The shouting was, we're so excited about the new fucking Christie release. That's all.
And we're,
And then there was thunder.
Thunder. Also, there were some Agatha Christie books already released. So yes, you could have read
Yeah.
both Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie.
Agatha
But hygiene
Christie had
wasn't invented yet. Apparently.
Yes. So you take your travel back. When you arrive, Mr. Fisherman / Ferryman just like he docks his little boat, and with his two fish now dead, no longer thrashing around in the bag, he just nods in your general direction. Says, don't ask me to do that again. Goodbye.
Y'all don't come back now.
Can't wait for his name to actually be like Kieran.
You're doing business, never come back.
Never come back. Goodbye. And he just walks into like a small shed that is close to the beach.
Well, better hope we don't need ferrymen again.
I'll just learn how to row a boat. It's fine.
We should
I
buy
know
a
how to
boat.
row. I know how to row a boat.
Could I keep a boat? in my coat?
I rowed a boat back in the war.
Do you have proficiency in water vehicles to back up this claim?
Yes, he does.
Gently down the stream.
Pulls out sword. Want me to come over there and test that out with you?
There, life is but a
Hmm.
dream.
You.
Wonder if I could keep a boat in my coat.
I love the
Oh,
It's if you have a foldable boat, yeah.
I love the fact that Malva said we should buy a boat in the same energy that Barney says we should buy a bar. How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
We could put the bar in the boat.
Yes.
Let's just buy a
100%.
yacht.
Yes.
100%.
You put the lime in the
That's why this-
coconut.
Just
And then you
sell
shake
that
it all
one
up.
ruby that you all got
Buy a yacht?
But I want that ruby from my pretties.
from her
But-
taste.
But
It's fine. Shut up.
As
we could trick someone into buying the sword replica.
As you reach shore, where would you like to go?
Places.
Home?
We actually don't have anywhere to be at
Be?
this. Well, we still gotta like patrol the island for like demons and shit.
Didn't we get directed to like a place where
Yes, that
the activity was?
A castle in the middle of the island?
No, no,
That shouldn't
not-
exist.
Not the castle. Let me open Mykonos again. Oh, it's already marked. I'm
Yeah,
amazing. So that one thing that is marked in green there.
What is
Oh,
that?
that's right. It was like an outpost or something.
Yes, there was a null outpost that they had at. I do not remember the name of the creature that is there. Let me check. Just a
A
moment.
chemera.
I think it is, but just to make sure, not to get.
Yeah.
No, not again.
Yes,
Not again.
that he knows are keeping a chimera there.
We never luck out with these animal enemies.
It's the most Greek monster you can get, the Chimera.
True.
Oh yeah, first it's lightning bird, then chimera.
Well, the Thunderbird
I-
is Native American.
But yes, you did get notice that somewhere over there, there was a camp, an old camp.
I have 38 HP.
So it's you've already taken a short rest. So I don't even know if you can take another short rest.
I don't even have any
It's fine.
HD.
I don't have HD.
We can technically
I-
take.
I've
as
got
many short rests as
HD.
you want. I have
got-
HD, but it would help me to get back my channel divinity.
The thing
I
is-
already have spell slots.
Yeah,
I'm good to
that
go.
Was, I was going to say, you can have Oliver cast healing with his 2 slots, then take another short rest.
This is why
That's
fighters
actually-
are great.
Yeah.
Fighters and their getting back their
Their short rest economy.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, since you have time and no rush, would Oliver perhaps like to do that? Just like heal people, then short rest again?
You mean actually get to capitalize on the fact that I get spells back? On a short rest? You bet!
So,
I was
Hey,
ready
do
to-
I
yeah,
want to
absolutely
do
not.
my thing?
You do that every time we go on to like 3 encounters a day without long rests.
Alright, so who wants some healing?
I'm at 44
Wait,
HP.
The person with heavy.
yeah. Dahlia, Edmund, and Jackson are fine, and yourself are fine. The most problematic
mean-
person is Jiro.
Jiro's gonna
Boom!
die anyway.
That is 18 HP to Jiro.
I've got 20 wounds.
So
Boom!
Yep. So yeah.
And that's
now
it.
Basically, yeah. Then let me just short rest you again. Then rest, short rest.
Woo!
It'll be
Who
nice
still
in
needs healing?
be nice in four levels where we can get these back, our points at back in short rests.
Oh, you're going to do it again. Oh. Okay.
Oh, was I not supposed to?
No, no, I just assumed that you were going to do it once, but okay.
Who else needs healing?
Gianna.
I got one more of these bad boys.
Yeah, I can
Max
just-
heal Gianna, yeah. Jesus.
Hell yeah!
Christ.
Jesus.
Okay, let me short rest you again.
I think you should be the healer, like forever now.
Forever now.
Yeah,
Hello?
I just get to
Okay.
use it twice.
So that is.
And I'm
It
done.
only took us 2 hours.
So that is 2 hours more that you spend. You probably stopped and took a moment to eat lunch as well.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you would like to do? You'd like to discuss? Anyone would like to contact?
So
any
how
other-
exactly would you be able to like get into the ritual? I cannot remember people's names right now.
First you'd have You'd first have to know how to cast it.
Oliver. Oliver. How would you exactly get into the ritual, Oliver? Since you said that you that wasn't a thing to do.
I was just suggesting if maybe one of you knew more about these heroic spirits that we might be able to, because I was being groomed, I guess, to be part of the ritual. I'm not sure if they were planning to consume me as part of it, but
I'm not sure there'd be a happy ending for you.
I could certainly give you the spiel about them, but it's all, again, theory and conjecture.
I'm kind of curious. I'd just like to know what the heck my family was up to. I'm actually kind of glad that I left for the war when I did.
If you were groomed and things are popping up again, and it's likely that you might be selected again for such a thing.
And it sounds like we need to keep me away from them.
I mean, the bounty on your head sure isn't small.
I'm sorry,
Gotta
what was
rem-
that?
The bounty in bringing you back sure isn't small. You gotta remember,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one after you.
Yes, that would be
Yes.
a problem. I would very much not like to go back.
I don't think it would benefit anybody if you went back.
It would benefit them, that's somebody, but
No,
I
it's- we-
understand what you mean. I understand
we-
what you're saying. Huh. Okay.
We also need
I'm
to
just-
work on that please don't talk about sensitive things signal.
Mm. So far going. Stop it! Doesn't work.
Yes. It's a bit obvious.
I mean,
Dahlia
I
is
think I'm
basically
as tight as a lid.
touching her nose with her finger.
I think I can be quite quiet when I need to be.
Leaves cold.
NPC asks a question, he just disconnects.
I was never-
internet!
We do need to have some sort of something to. I can talk with people within their heads, but it is a touch obvious.
Yes. We also need to point at them.
I guess
to do
Gabriella
that.
can talk. Gabriella can do that for me, but
I mean, a cough,
Hmm.
perhaps, or something to that degree.
I mean,
Mm.
I think I know when to be quiet.
enlighten us.
He stays quiet.
That's
You,
that
you-
works, yes, but that doesn't help signal when everybody else needs to shut the fuck up.
He wiggles his, or Jiro wiggles his eyebrows.
How about
Why?
we try something less creepy?
How about we just
Still
make
is
a
quiet.
habit of never talking about sensitive things?
How about you just
How
have
about
to
we
talk
talk
about
about the weather in London?
Why
Why would you
London?
talk about the weather in London? It's awful.
Why not?
Exactly.
Oh, it's awful.
Or
We could complain
not-
about
why
the
not?
weather in London then.
why don't we talk about like the weather in Kyoto?
Why not something that's very just
Okay.
non-discrete, like twisting your fingers together?
Hmm.
Or like pokes Gianna in the face.
That's too obvious. Stop it! Stop it!
Continues
Good.
poking.
Hmm. Hmm.
I will bite your finger.
I'll bite back.
You would bite a lady.
Yes.
Why? What is wrong with you?
The desperate sigh that came along with that.
Everyone wants to know what the fuck's wrong with Jiro. He'll never explain.
He refuses to elaborate.
I think I like Ichika's idea. Just wring your
cough or-
hands or wring your hands or twist your fingers together.
Mm-hmm.
Make it look like a nervous tick.
That is, yeah.
I don't have a nervous tick, he says as he's scratching his arm. Anyways,
That-
onwards.
Seems like a good idea at the very least. So we're going
No.
to do with this snow camp. Oh, was that shit?
I was gonna say, we might want to say we went after this. If nothing else, then have a answer for what we did for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about doing things for the day. After your 2-hour massage session with Oliver, what would you like to do?
I guess we should go scout out the null thingy.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or just kill them all.
Well,
That was the
that's
idea.
Let's scout. Let's
All-
scout first.
all of our scouting trips end that way.
That
So-
is what scouting means, yes.
Jackson looks at Shana. You mean I can actually do my job now? Huh? That's something.
All of our scouting trips have ended up in us actually just fighting them all to death.
I mean,
Back
we
in the-
will.
Let's at least-
Back in World War One, every time someone sends Jiro on a scouting mission, it doesn't turn into a scouting mission. It turns into slaughter. Dude,
Accurate.
They can't see you if they're all dead.
Okay. Let's just look first before we kill it. Please.
I mean, you gotta see things to kill them. Yes, that's the point.
I
Of course.
listen here,
Yeah.
tentacles.
Nods
Shut up.
with Jackson.
But yes, I'll.
She'll just start
Here,
walking and
look.
just.
Is this placating enough for you? He just Burb pops into existence in his arm, and he throws him, and Burb starts flying away ahead of the group to
yes,
scout.
see, there we go. Thank you. That's at least something.
I don't know. I think I can be stealthier than a bird.
How were you?
Do not question my methods.
I could also take a look around. You know,
Ed-
one of my tricks.
Edmund goes limp as he goes into the senses of the bird.
I said I was stealthier than the bird.
Oh, so you mean Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day you will all get each other's names.
Jiro
But that's-
melds into the
Uh,
brush.
It has only been 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. Jackson just puts a hand on Gianna's shoulder to stabilize himself and to know where the fuck he's going as he goes blind to see what the bird is saying.
Yes.
Why don't you
Jiro's
just?
following it along silently.
Why don't you just?
Well,
You want me to scout ahead or not?
when it comes to stealth, I am not the best at the stealth.
Edmund.
So is Edmund going to wild shape or just
He was proposing that suggestion considering what's going on.
That's entirely fair. That would at least give us 2 eyes instead of 1.
Excuse me, there's 4 eyes.
Excuse
going on.
me, I have both my eyes.
I'm going to stab all of you.
pulls out 2 swords?
Jiro literally just sprinted into the woods silently.
Sprinted
God.
into the woods silently.
I'm not healing you again.
Yeah, you got
Florida
25
man,
in
god
stealth.
damn it!
He's Leroy Jenkins. I mean, he rolled a 25 on his stealth, so he's great.
Oh god.
Edmund, just please be the voice of reason. Please say something.
Turns into cat.
Yeah, basically.
No,
Turns into
please
cat.
don't leave me.
Meows, walks away.
You're not alone, I'm
Yeah, no, sorry, I was just debating which form I wanted, but yeah, I think I'll just stick with cat.
No, man, just be a spire and then hop on my shoulder.
No.
God.
No.
Jiro's just gonna one of those times like a shit. Ah.
Lad.
Yeah, Edmund will be going along in wild shape, just to try to take a look.
Dahlia just looks at Edmund, shapeshifting, turns to Gianna. You know, he used to do that a lot. He used to do that to mess with people. Fun times.
I'm actually a little surprised. He seems not quite the prankster.
Shit went down. And she
I
just
see.
continues walking.
I see.
There's a joke about Christians and drugs in there somewhere.
I will not have you speak ill of my faith.
Dahlia just shrugs and walks
I'm a
behind Cat.
Taoist!
Everyone forgets that Jiro vanished because no one can see Jiro.
You
just
just
forget he
runs
exists.
off into the forest and we just look at him and just like, okay, so
Continue. Yes.
there's
guess
nothing
I
we can do to bring him back at that point.
I feel like we're missing someone.
No.
Ridiculous.
They just
We are-
turned into a
Jiro
Well, I'll-
was never here.
We are
So, well,
fine.
obviously you're missing Edmund. He left.
Yes, he left. He turned into a cat.
He turned into a kid.
It-
All right, so I shall leave. I shall lead the blind Jackson around, I guess.
Yes.
Shall lead the blind.
He opens his eye every so often. Just like he stops.
Just make sure.
Like, yeah, just to make sure where the fuck we are.
Well, with the group taking the direction of the no encampment, I think that is a good place for us to stop for the night. Since
Yeah.
we've reached our
Mansion game!
quote-unquote 3-hour
Woo!
mark.
Look, to be fair, we had 2 sessions of combat.
It's true.
Yeah.
Next one's probably combat.
That's fine.
We got a 50-50 ratio going on sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes. It's all Malva's fault.
Hey,
Yes,
wh-
as usual.
He asks
What?
way too many questions.
I'm never doing a character that's supposed to be in any way, shape, or form intelligent ever again in any of your campaigns. I'm gonna be the dumb brick, and you're gonna be
But you-
mad at me for it.
Listen, we could just swap characters, it'll be fine.
What was that?
You can just be Jiro, it'll be great.
I'm not mad at you, I'm just poking fun at you. Because your character asks questions and that is important because
Yes!
questions need to be asked.
That is the sole reason he's in this party at all.
Yes, he's here to ask questions so that people think, and with people think, the plot develops.
Hey. Hey, I'm.
Yeah.
And
Gee, I
he's
just
also
really
here to
like
do dumb shit with tentacles and birds and
Yes.
make
Sounds like a
Gianna
lot of. It sounds
really
like a lot,
mad for some reason.
Sounds like a trio of kinks right there.
I think that's the perfect ending quote. So, goodbye, everyone. Don't forget to
Bye! Bye!
check
Bye.
the
See you next time!
affiliate link.
That's the name of the
That's all.
session. A trio
Yeah.
of kinks.
Goodbye.
Yeah.